Good morning, children. This is Lata here, who is going to explain to you the first lesson in business studies, nature and significance of management. When you look into the topic of the lesson, nature and significance of management, you find a word management. Now tell me, what do you mean by management? Management is a process of managing things to achieve our goal effectively and efficiently. That is, how you manage your things to achieve your goal is known as your management. When you look into the term management, you find three important terms associated with management. They are process, effectiveness, and efficiency. So, first term is your process. What is process? It's a series of steps involved in the completion of an activities. As far as the management is concerned, there are 5 important activities which has to be carried on. First is your planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. So for the completion of your process, you need to take carry out of all these 5 functions, which forms an important base for your management. Second is your effectiveness. Effectiveness is nothing but doing the right task. The third one is your efficiency. What is efficiency? Doing the task in the right way is known as your efficiency. The next is an important topic where you will learn the relationship between effectiveness and efficiency. We'll learn the relationship between effectiveness and efficiency. Look into the diagram, you will find that there are two diagrams representing effective and efficient. The first diagram, effective, you find the input is the same as your output. That means you have used the same or more amount of input to get your desired result is the first case of your effective. In the second case, when you see the input is smaller than the output, that means you have used less resources to the maximum extent possible to get the desired output. Now tell me, will the management wants a person who is effectiveness or the person who is efficient? Is you are right. The management need the persons of both effective as well as efficient person. You should have as an organization, it is important to have a balance of effectiveness and efficiency. Poor management results from inefficiency and ineffectiveness. So very important to have a balance of your effectiveness and efficiency. Now we will recollect again the three important terms are your process, effectiveness and efficiency. We'll move on to the next topic, features of management. So when you look into the features of management, there are 7 features. First is your universal, goal-oriented, continuous process, multidimensional, group activity, dynamic function, intangible force. We'll go with one by one the features of management. First is your management is goal-oriented process. Every organization has a goal, and the goal may be a social, economic or political, and the goal is going to drive the management or the concern to march towards achievement. So the goal is a base for functioning of an organization. Next is the management is universal. As the word says, universal, it is applied everywhere and it is possible in everywhere. You will find managing the things going to happen at every level and in every department. So management is considered as universal. Third is your management is multidimensional. So when the word says multidimension, it means that it has many dimensions. There are 3 important dimensions. They are management of work, management of people, management of operations. We'll first take into consideration management of work. So what is management of work? You have different work to be assigned. You assign the different types of works to be performed and the ways and means of achieving it. That's known as management of work. Next is management of people. People are human resource People are considered as human resource, and human resource forms an integral part of management. Each individual or the employee found in an organization have their own individual goals, have their behavior and attitude. So to manage these kind of a human resource, to put towards achieving a objective goal of an organization is an important task of management. So next is your management of operations. Management operations is execution of your desired output. So you have assigned the work, you have allotted the resources, you have found out the human resources, and the execution or the success of happens in your management of operations. So as a management, it has to take into a consideration management of work, management of people, and management of operations. We'll move on to the next feature is your management is a continuous process. Management is not going to end once one activity is over. One activity, when one activity gets over, it is going to be continued for the next activity. So it is on a continuous process. Management is a group activity. The success of a concern is not bought by a single individual or by a top level management alone or the middle level or at the lower level. It is a teamwork or the cooperative effort of all the employees employed in an organization. It replaces I with we. So management is considered as a group activity. Next is your management is a dynamic function. When you look at the word dynamic, it means change. So you find a changes happens in every environment. Changes is going to happen in every environment. An organization to succeed or subside to exist in the organization is to adapt to the changes in the environment. The best example is your McDonald's, where you find the stuffings which is used in your burger in Western is in foreign countries is your beef or your pork in it. But when they wanted to establish their concern in India, they did not use these two materials because it is against religious sentiments of the people. Instead of using beef or pork, they used aloo, potatoes in stuffing of your burger and called it as potato burger. So they have adapted the strategies according to the environment where they wanted to establish their organization. So the dynamic is a function for a management. Last is here, management is an intangible force. Intangible cannot be seen or touched. The management is cannot be touched or seen, but its presence can be felt. How will you feel the presence of management? When you feel that the employees are happy, when you find that your employees are happy, when you find your atmosphere is good, when you find your performance of your management is keep rising, these all shows that the presence of management. Once again, we'll recap with the features of your management: universal, goal oriented, continuous process, multidimensional, group activity, dynamic function, intangible force. Moving to the next heading is your objectives of management. What do you mean by objectives of management? It is nothing but aims of management. It is again divided into three, namely organizational, social and personal. First we'll start with the organizational objectives. Organizational objectives have three basic objectives to be achieved. First is your survival, second is your profit, third is your growth. Survival for any organization to withstand in the environment is a requirement for your first step. To make your survival, you should earn revenue to cover your cost. Second step comes your profit. Once you have survived in the environment, then you try to make a profit. The profit means you have to earn more revenue to cover not only your cost but also the risk to be involved. Once the first and second stages are over, you move on to the next is your growth. Growth is moving towards the next level of your development of a concern. It can be an increase in growth, it can be expansion of your business, it can be an introduction of your business, it can be opening of a new branch. The growth of an organization can be measured in terms of sales or in terms of number of employees appointed during the course, or your performance of your organization can be done. When you look into the picture, you can see that the climbing the ladders to reach your goal is your destination of your organizational objectives. Next comes your social objectives. Every organization has to concentrate towards the social objectives. What are the ways where you can contribute to the society? You can make products which are eco-friendly. Second, you can provide employment opportunity to the weaker sections, the marginal section of the society, or wherever possible contribute towards the development of the society. And you cannot separate yourself, the business cannot separate themselves from the society, because the customers are the part of the society. So the social objectives should go along with the organizational objectives. Last objective is your personal objectives. Every employee who enters into organization will have a personal objectives to be taken care. Say for example, one employee may be entered into an organization with the purpose of earning more money. One may be to reach to a higher level. One may have wanted to have a personal growth and development. Whatever may be the personal objectives, it is very necessary that the management should take care of the personal objectives of the employees too, because the employees are the main integral part of the organization. So the organizational goals has to go along with the personal goals too. So we'll come back again. What are the objectives of management? They are organizational objective, social objectives, and personal objectives. We'll stop with the session with the objectives of management, and next part of the lesson will be dealt in the next session. Thank you.